But I said, these guys, and I called them Utu Konkubiti, you know, Chavinga, Nisibueno, and Gampare anytime. And then you have this other one, the most devastating one, Mao Sampa. I don't know what he's looking for and what he wants. You know, he's walking like a headless chicken. Because I don't understand people like him. So when he holds a convention in the middle of the night, one Independence Day, and he says that's a convention, and you ask me today, whether in the political party PF or in the opposition you have actually held intra-party election, if the standard of what you're talking about is what Mao's did, it's so shameful. No. That standard falls below. Because even in your party constitution as PF, there is a constituted number of delegates. And how those delegates emerge to form the electoral college. All the members know that. And Mao knows that. Well, but what do we see? His colleague also, Chavinga, can claim to be president of a political party in that fashion. So I say that both in the opposition and the UPND, the standard for which we seek office, either in leadership at the national level or leadership in the political parties, is through crookedness, shrewd, mingalato. No one wants to look at the letter of the law and just follow it. Then when it comes to general election like this, we want to follow the letter. It can't work. But there are maneuvers which we are talking about which have to do with the registrar of societies, who you know, the entries, the office bearer. I saw one sad one, you know, when they tackled the issue of Sean Tembo, where his political party was reduced to a church. Things like that are administrative, and I might not be too competent to comment, but I can say this. I've challenged the registrar over the dealings of registration of our organization. I'm not satisfied. That is why I'm questioning the nomination of my president in the Republic, Haka in the HLM. It's purely because I'm not satisfied with how they have handled the registration of office bearers in the ruling party. That's a complaint I have. It's below par.
So, speak to that.
To answer your question,
who should be office bearers? Who should be office bearers? And why are the current office bearers not qualified to be on the register?
Ambassador, it's important to note something. Remember I said that political parties are registered. There is a law under the Registrar of Societies, how a society is commenced. When you have 10 or more people, they might have initially an exemption certificate, then later on they'll be given a full certificate and recognition is given. The membership grows. As the membership grows through the document, the Constitution, they hold regular elections, intra-party elections, at branch, constituency, district, province, and national levels. But those elections in these organizations are time-bound. In other words, they are term limits. You serve for 3 years or you serve for 5 years, but you file returns annually with the registrar. Because you see, the provinces or the provincial leadership is like a branch of the main political party. So, under the Registrar of Societies, provincial officials should file returns, just like the national management or MCCs and so forth at that level file returns. Even provincial officials should file returns. So if you are holding intra-party elections regularly, you file returns annually. It means that if you are complying every year, at a time when elections apply intra-party, at that very year or season of elections, you will then inform the registrar, and the registrar should be able to look at your document and say you are coming here to renew or to file returns for the provincial authorities, the term is 3 years, or the term is 5 years. When last did you hold the intra-party elections? Not just receiving documents from you. So the failure is just, it starts there. Where in the political parties, there is no supervision by the registrar when filing returns as to how the leadership emerged, as long as they can fill in the names. So the failure is from the registrar of society. So if to answer your question, simply put, this falls squarely on the registrar of societies. They might claim that that is not their role to enforce, then whose role is it? Because they cannot be authenticating what you call, now with this process, under the Electoral Process Act, they are now authenticating signatories of a certificate, which is an adoption certificate, if they cannot supervise political parties as to when they hold elections, and that those officers who are listed there are authentic leaders having gone through an intra-party process. If they can't do that, then what are they doing? So if you ask me, the failure starts right there. And so the fix has to be with the registrar, not to look at the names of the opposition group, whether this is a popular party or whatever, but to just do or perform their function, that when returns are being filed, they should come in line with the statute of that political party, that these are office bearers elected in terms of the law. That's what I would say. So the registrar's office has failed this country. If they are understaffed, we should hear them saying they are understaffed, and the role of the Attorney General would be advisory, and they would know how to implement that. So the failure it has been like this. I can tell you, I'm not just talking about the current registrar. It's been running. Remember I told you, like under UNIP, from Tilienji in 2000 to 2020. What tenure is that? And the registrar recognized UNIP as a lawful society. I told you of FDD. Same. So what are they doing? So they should be helping by enforcing, and that's where Article 60 comes in. So if it's an enforcement mechanism, maybe this will come through the bill, which in the next 1 year, as the Constitution Court has ruled now, that the bill, a political party's bill should come into place. Maybe under that, it will be more effectual. But presently, the law stipulates that the registrar is responsible, not for the confusion, but to enable all political parties comply with their statutes. They should have been helpful. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Longa, and thank you for those insights. Let's go to the institutions. We've just talked about registrar of societies, and that's my concern. The complaint the last 5 years, both by local stakeholders such as the church, LAS, and by international bodies like the UN Human Rights Commission and international human rights NGOs, have raised alarm that there is a quick and deteriorating democratic state in Zambia. There is a shrinking democratic space, shrinking civic space, shrinking media space. President Hakainde Hichilema has proceeded to enact laws that are deemed extremely repressive. You have gone to court. You have faith that the court can give you justice. What would you say about the state of our institutions, the threats they suffer that they may not act independently? And I notice that another institution you've sued is the Electoral Commission of Zambia, because you say the ECZ should have scrutinized the nominations of President Hakainde Hichilema, and probably you will not even be in court if the ECZ had done its job.
Ambassador. I'll start with the last part of your question. I've included in my suit the Electoral Commission. Not that they should have scrutinized. They were on notice of our dispute, and that they should have then examined that what they were doing was sort of, I want to use the correct term here, that when examining the nomination before them, since they were on notice of my letter, which had clearly outlined what my grievance was, and at the time they were filed, they should have then taken into account that there is something here. I'll tell you about the state of institutions and the concern I have with institutions. Maybe I'll go a step back because it will be important that I do this. Institutions, first of all, we need to, as people, we need to have confidence in these institutions. We need to challenge the officers there who have been sworn in. Most of them, have been sworn in. So we need to lawfully approach them, encourage them to do the right thing. And I'm one person who has always pushed any public officer who is charged with a responsibility to do their part. But I have to exercise my right to approach them. So even as I approach the court, there is a general sense that courts are biased towards the ruling party. I leave that aside. I do my part, and I try to do it competently. I did this even in 2021. I challenged Dr. Edgar Lungu's nomination. Even if I knew we were in the opposition at that time, I had all the confidence that I will approach this court. It's that same confidence I have today, that I'll approach a court and they should hear me. Now, we shouldn't lose faith in these institutions. Maybe the players are not doing very well, but we need, first of all, to approach them. I approached the JCC recently. I approached Parliament. Parliament let me down. I had allegations labeled against some people who are being sworn in or maybe who are being ratified before Parliament. And the Speakers Committee did not call me to hear me before they could ratify certain individuals. But you see, we need, first of all, to approach these institutions. First of all, respect the office bearers and approach them with reason. And say, look, I have this issue. I will not speculate. I'll first of all wait and see their conduct. And if they veer off their responsibility, I'm the first one to call them out. I don't have to be in the opposition. If they fall below the standard which is expected of them, because when they hold that Bible and they are sworn in before the president, they are sworn in my stead as a citizen, that they will perform their duties to the best of their ability. And when they start playing cadarism on an issue which is straightforward, they are letting down the whole population. So the reports in the international media, maybe in civil society, about the shrinking democratic space should first of all be more specific about the issues. We shouldn't speculate. I like to itemize what I've done, and when I say this thing has failed, I'll tell you where it failed. So I will not generalize that there's a shrinking space. You see, Emmanuel, I want to say something about your invitation to me on your shows. I want to put something in context. You see, there is a tendency for people who have been given jobs or who are in public offices right now to pander to those people who are in the ruling party and do wrong. We are all citizens, and we should be accorded equal opportunity. Whether it's the media, we should be allowed to, I should be able to have this discourse with Grevasio, but Grevasio will not invite me. Okay? Maybe because I'm stereotyped to be against Hakainde Hichilema. Hakainde Hichilema, why should I be against him? I'm against certain things which I see as maladministration Hakainde Hichilema. And I'll challenge that. And so Gervasio should be able to give me audience on ZNBC. You know, I sometimes tell myself the ZNBC of UNIP was far better than this ZNBC under UPND. Because under UNIP, we could see an ad MMD criticizing the then administration of UNIP, and it would be aired. But today what we see on that ZNBC, if I were president or if I were given one opportunity, I'll fire the whole board one time. Because they are below par. They are in this generation, but the journalists or the administrators who are there in under the one-party state were faring even better. So when you talk about the shrinking democratic space, I look at the players. Who are these people? Where do you get these people whom we have put in offices? What's their track record in media? What is their track record in governance institutions? How do you come about to get judges? How do you come about to get PSs? Now, if these guys, you are just picking them from the street as cadres because they sing a certain song. And remember, Ambassador, last time I told you that this policy, I blame it squarely on the policy of the Patriotic Front. And UPND has a tendency of saying, if PF used to do it, we also do it. And that degenerates the standard in the public sector. Because Patriotic Front brought this, what I called an evil policy of getting staunch PF cadres to run parastatals. And I'm telling you, even in my party, they have that as justification to take that step. So we need to examine, when we now say that there's shrinking democratic space, it's because the UPND have picked cadres. That's all. The UPND have picked cadres and put them in these positions, and they will do the party's bidding. And so the standard is lowered. So what's good for the goose is good for the gander. But I'll tell you that as a citizen, if I didn't like it under PF, I'll criticize it under UPND, and I would expect UPND to do better. Yes, Mr. Ambassador, that's what I would say. If there's a shrinking democratic space, it's because us as citizens have sat back and allowed cadreism to enter the civil service, which is wrong. Which is wrong, absolutely wrong. And this seed was greatly sown by the Patriotic Front policy. And the UPND have just scaled it up, and we are suffering the consequences as a nation. So when we complain as citizens, let's introspect and find a solution. Which solution? We shouldn't be pointing at this administration or that person, but saying this policy, there is what they call cadre deployment in certain jurisdictions, has failed in Zambia, because the kind of officials you send to these offices are not competent. They're just serving at the whims. They don't have any professional bias. They have maybe a political bias. And that's what I've seen from where I stand. So I'll not be ashamed to say we have failed in the UPND just as much as PF failed. Maybe we used it at the time to beat PF, to say PF are unprofessional, they have cadres and so forth, but when the rubber hits the road, we are doing exactly the same thing. So we should, as a people, as Zambians, come and say this thing we have, as Zambians in political circles, that we have actually failed. And we should be honest and now have a discussion and say, how do we then professionalize our civil service? Yeah, and cut off this cadreism.
Thank you very much.
Okay like this I like,
I like the issue you raised of ZMBC that is worse than it was under UNIP. In fact, that's what we are saying about all institutions, that you can have a judiciary that pronounce a death sentence against a son of a sitting president. That was under UNIP. You had MPs that called for multi-party democracy in the UNIP parliament in 1989, 1990, and 1991, you can see that we seem to have deteriorated to below the one-party state. Let me throw this question. You've raised a very critical issues regarding the state of the UPND, that as a society, it has failed to adhere to its standards. You've even called, for this matter in court, UPND, if we had the proper judiciary, probably would not have a candidate in this election. Do you feel that you've received support from the opposition, who especially that have been victims of this vindictiveness, the use of state institutions against them, where their political parties are robbed or they are removed from their political parties? And here you are pursuing the same standards for the UPND. And then the opposition, in your view, have they supported you or they've been quiet on this matter?
No, first of all, Ambassador, I have not gone out there, and this even in the UPND they will tell you. We have not gone out there in the UPND to seek those who understand our position, to mobilize against what I'm calling the purported leaders. Neither have I to the opposition to seek for support. But I speak to the consciousness of the Zambian people, whether be it in the opposition or the ruling party, to say, pay attention to what I'm saying. And I would have expected my sincerity, because you see, I move sincerely and openly before all. I would have expected more, you see, because this thing which I'm talking about affects the opposition. And look at the Patriotic Front. The Ambassador, I'll say this first. It's sad that in election, there is no PF on the ballot. A former ruling party, 5 years after losing power, they are not on the ballot. Now, when I say that, and I'm addressing the issues of intra-party democracy, yes, as a citizen, I would expect those in the Patriotic Front to sympathize and support me. I would expect civil society, who know what the issues are intra-party wise in this country, to support me. I would expect the church to support what I'm saying, because I move sincerely that if I don't help this country, who will? Because this has to be addressed in the context of a ruling party. That all of you should ask the same question. Put aside the Quenu first. Leave Quenu alone. Ask yourself, has UPND lived to your expectation? I'll give an example. We had this chaotic adoption process where you even see now there are so many independents. Some of them are beaten at the polling stations. Some of them are being asked to withdraw. Some of them are being bribed. We hear on social media every day, we see it. And some people in my own political party are celebrating. That's a failure of democracy. It's win by all means. No. So I would have expected those of our citizenry, the church, the civil society, to pay particular attention to what we are saying. You were saying, may I address the church through you, if you allow, Ambassador? Because they are the conscience of the nation. You criticized PF so strongly, and I was in the forefront along with many people who criticized PF. I would have expected you to speak even louder this time. Because what we said we would do, we are not doing. If anything, we are getting worse. This I say unashamedly. We are not doing well. And so I would have expected the clear voice of the church, of the non-governmental organizations, to hear what we are saying. Save this country. Love this country. UNIP is gone. MMD gone. PF is gone. This UPND will go one day. Let's not preserve it. Let's preserve Zambia. Let's love Zambia first. That's all I ask. And I would have expected many of you citizens to hear clearly that this nation needs to be loved and taken care of. And you as citizens listening to me now should do a bit more. Registering and voting is one thing, and we are thankful for those who have done that. But those of you who are in advocacy should pay particular attention to the issues we are raising in our political parties. We love this country. You know, there's one competition me and Haka in the Chilema have, is who loves the country most. That one we do have it, and we do express it. And when we supported him and he became president, he says, oh, look, we need to add value. Transform these resources we have to value so that we can benefit this nation. I said, go for it. I support it. But I also have a passion in my love for my country this way, that will not rule this country without laws, lawlessly, and with impunity. In that, there we part ways. And we meet at the Constitutional Court. Because I also have a passion for my country. And my passion is not based on what returns I get from those investments in the mines or whichever industry, but to see a brighter future for the children of this country. And if as Zambians will take that kind of view, an eternal one, we will build a better society. So I say this openly, and I appeal to the consciousness of those in the church. You can't keep quiet. Political parties have been decimated in this country. We have candidates. I don't know, this party. You know, one day I was looking, Ambassador, I will say this figurative, laugh.
Yes, yes.
There's a political party now on the ballot. You know, Yajakuma wedding. I don't know whether any RSVP or something. I don't know whether that's the political party Munduvile has. I don't know. Because from nowhere it just appears. It should worry the nation. Because that political party, we don't know what it stands for. We have not seen its constitution. So, as civil society, as the church, the conscience of this nation, we should be worried the intra-party processes in that political party. We should. Because that's where the problems emanate from. We should examine that. It's not just qualifying for nomination as candidate. It's beyond that. It's what does it stay in their statutes. Because that party will most probably become the next ruling party. Then that's when you now read its statute to know what it says about citizens, about this. No. So we should have a higher test, and that test calls for you who are of the collar to say, you people in the political front, put your houses in order. But Mr. Ambassador Mwamba, as I say this, there is something I want to say. Tamukweta ku studio kwa America ko kati singa namukwata chibike niko hapa tunwe kwa meshi atengire.
Wonderful, wonderful.
hakainde watitonda nadi nchito ni kuyoboya waka vilaizgo vyose vya waka waka kusuzgika kwa kura mwe bantu mwe nadi nadi hakainde watondeka nadi watondeka 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 wakati walina mahala tono mahala yalinkulelo tengo wofu wakwera muchanya sono bakavu bakulira chitima bo nadi 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 hakainde watondeka nadi watondeka 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 tiletelani nyali kuno kukaya alundazi box 1 kanele mundubile na munyake make bibiza na mama abrenda nyirenda simbi za Jelemani hakainde luta luta watondeka
It is true that an arrest has been effected with 2 counts of assault, which count we have denied, and we are going to go to court to defend ourselves, and we are very hopeful that justice will prevail. For now, as you know, we all know that I'm not a media freak. I don't like talking to the media unnecessarily. But just to confirm that an arrest has been effected, I have been represented by Mr. Beauty Shanga, State Counsel, and 3 other lawyers, Dr. Brian Kaba, and 2 other gentlemen, Mr. Simbe and Mr. Masila. The interview was done professionally, I must say, without acrimony, and now we're just going to wait for justice's wheels to start turning. But also maybe just one short but large statement is to say, from my end, if I knew then what I know now, I'm sure I would have behaved differently. And that I personally did not see the future to be like this, and I can only say that from my eyes, the future is no longer what it used to be. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I guess, Charles, you'd also share the same words, because at no time did you ever think that you have to take your own party and your president to court. Viewers, share the program, share the line, share the broadcast wherever you are watching us from. We'll be opening phone lines, and if you have questions for Mr. Charles Longwe, please ask your question. We need to quickly release him. for his own safety, and we do not want our political leaders to be moving in the night. So I want to quickly allow Mr. Charles Longwe to go. So please call and ask your questions if you have any. Mr. Longwe, before we went for a break, you cut your thoughts just to take some water. Please finish your thoughts.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ambassador. I had to take some water, and it was gracious. Though, I don't know what it is now. Nangutini kumba bengire. Why you can't quit?
It's coming. It's coming.
Andatondeke akainde. Andatondeke akainde.
I'll
Anyway,
play it.
so,
yeah, thank you. So you know what has happened. The crooks on social media are licensing that song as theirs because it's receiving so much airplay across all platforms. So you have people that have specialized in claiming copyrights and they earn money on something that is not there. That's what has happened to that song. So every time we play it, there are multiple flags that are rising because crooks have registered it as their song. But I will still play it. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from. Oh, we lost that caller. The lines are open. The lines are open. If you have a question for our dear brother, Mr. Longwe, please, let's go through. So that's what I was explaining about that song, that I noticed that it's raising flags. And when I check the signature, people that didn't even do the songs are claiming copyright. There's a gentleman from Kitwe and another one from abroad. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
My name is Kelvin. I'm calling from US. Mr. Longwe, how are you?
He's listening to you. Thank you.
Mr. Longwe, my concern is I want you to clarify on PF and the UPND. Looking at the Register Society situation, I'm seeing like officers from that office, it was very difficult for them. As you can see that we heard that things were happening even in the evening. So how do you advise to the next government from what you have seen? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contributions.
Thank you very much, Honorable Emmanuel Mwamba. This is Don Oscar. I'm calling from Italy.
Just a minute. Yeah, yes, Father. Make your contribution.
Yes, please. Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Longwe, and thanks for this good program. Mr. Longwe has talked about the church is silent. And I think I would say Mr. Longwe, who is a UPND member and one of the founding fathers of UPND, knows what is happening in the country. Mr. Longwe, I appreciate your concern, your patriotism. You are showing patriotism to speak and contribute so that we can have a sane political environment in our country. Now, Mr. Longwe, you know exactly that this situation where up to today, where in the Constitution we are given 90 days for all political competitors to go out and campaign. And your president, President Hakainde Chidema, has not allowed his colleagues to go out and campaign. Why can you compare his love for the country to yourself, your love for the country, when up to today. It has never happened, Mr. Longwe. It has never happened in the history of politics in Zambia that 90 days cliques and opposition leaders are not given the possibility to start making their campaigns. Not only 90 days, they have not done it for the past almost 4 years. So, Mr. Longwe, though I appreciate your patriotism, why can't you advise your president of your party, Hakainde Chilema, president of UPND? Why can't you allow him? Why can't you speak to him if you love the country? Let him respect the constitution. Advise him to allow, with immediate effect, the opposition political parties to go and campaign. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. There are so many calls. Let's see how we can quickly process them. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Hello, caller. This caller has muted himself. Caller, quickly unmute yourself and answer. Yes,
okay.
Caller.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't notice. Good evening, Ambassador. Good evening, Mr. Longwe.
Thank you.
My name is MK6. I'm in Pretoria. Mr. Longwe, I'm saying my name like that because I want you to know something. I think you were questioned by Mr. Mwamba about the shrinking democracy, the shrinking spaces, and that were highlighted by the UN Special Rapporteur to for Human Rights. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who's going to say my name like that. You'll be able to hear more people who will be actually anonymous. That is for a reason, and that is why you were asked to say, have you seen that the spaces have shrinked? Now I want to answer to your call. You've called us, the citizens of this country, to stand up and speak to truth. I want to answer to you that we are speaking not louder, but we are speaking within our hearts, knowing for sure to say once we speak, we might go in. And what HH has done with his government is that they have used the Western formula whereby they first make you suffer economically so that you don't speak. All you concentrate on is looking for your kwachas, looking for your money. So we've seen Madam Katerenjio Sisi, she went to stand for, is it that mayor, the lady who wanted to stand as mayor in Lusaka, but she was picked. And those are the kinds of people that we allowed ourselves for the past 5 years. And this is why you've seen maybe the church has stopped talking. We saw what happened to the late emeritus Archbishop Mpundu. He was at one point, what do you call it? He was at one point done like the way they did to Emmanuel Mwamba. He never knew where he was picked from and where he found himself. I think we know the stories in the public domain. So those are the kinds of people that we have allowed ourselves to rule on us for the past 5 years. And I want to just ask you, I've heard from the beginning until now, I've heard how you have propounded this program, and I want to ask you, looking at the people or the leaders, the politicians that we have currently, if you were to choose one, I'm asking you for a purpose. If you were to choose one amongst these, who would you go for? I think that is the only question I have for you. Thank you so much, Ambassador.
Thank you very much. We'll take 2 more questions and allow Mr. Longwe to answer the questions. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
This is Precious Emmanuel Mwamba from Livingstone.
Yes, Precious. Make your contribution.
Yes. I have a question. Very long way. Balongwe, I didn't hear where he started, but I just found him where he was talking about the same President Hakainde Hichilema with this nomination thing. So my question is, Balongwe, in everything that President Hakainde Hichilema is doing right now, on your side, are you sure that President Hakainde Hichilema is a person who you can even take to court and you will succeed in everything that you are planning right now? Because me, what I'm looking, I see like President Hakainde Hichilema is a dictator. This is the reason why even right now he's not allowing other people to do the campaigning. If it was in time of PF, campaigning could have started even in February or March. But right now you can see people, they are in campaigning, but no one is allowed to do the campaigning freely, like the way they were doing in time of PF. But President Hakainde Hichilema, right now there are some people composing songs for them, but they don't condemn those people. But right now, me, my Facebook account has been blocked. They are restricting my Facebook account because I played Munduwili and Makebi song. And I was blocked yesterday while I was live. So now, President Hakainde Hichilema, if you look at him yourself, do you see that there is democracy in this party? He keeps on fooling the nation that, no, we have democracy. Are you sure, Balongo, we have democracy like the way we had in these past presidents in previous? We just want you to answer this question correctly, please. Help the nation, but President Hakainde Hichilema should not take this country like it's his own home or it's his property. No. We are tired of this. If he thinks like he can do whatever he wants to do, please, we need you as wise leaders, concerned citizens, work together and save the people of Zambia. What is important right now is for you to save the people of Zambia. Thank you very much.
Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
Hello, Mr. Ambassador, Mwabombeni, and hello, Mr. Longwe.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah. Mr. Ambassador, I don't have a question for Mr. Longwe. All I want to say is, Mr. Longwe, you are one of the few, really. You have clearly spoken out the truth, and I really thank you with all my heart, for sharing your thoughts. You know, speaking out the truth around this time, when it is so difficult and uncomfortable, it isn't something so easy. Yeah. All I can say is, if there were many like you, our country would not have faced all the problems it is going through. Yeah. You know, the only question I'm asking myself actually is, what's the point of changing the government if we tend to look back, just like you had put it, saying that, what are you complaining about? Because even PF was doing the same thing. You know, here we are not dealing with the no. We are dealing with prominent people who are so highly educated. Highly educated. If I say highly educated, highly educated. I can't reach them. These people are supposed to actually lead the country adequately, to give everything to people who have put them there. There is no country without people. The country belongs to the people. This is what they should know, because if it hadn't been for the people, no one would sit in the government. No one would lead the country. But putting us down, really, putting us under, it's not something that everyone would really feel happy about it. So, Mr. Longwe, I'm so happy to hear this, and I hope everyone is actually listening to you and is complying with you.
Thank
this
you.
is all
Thank
I
you.
have. Thank you so much.
Okay, I'll take the last two. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Honorable, good evening.
Good evening.
Ambassador, this is David from Mongu again.
David from Mongu, make your contribution.
Yes, I just wanted to ask a question to Mr. Longwe, and I would like to say it's very rare that we have these patriotic Zambians who can stand up against their own party when it's in government. It's rare. So I would like to congratulate him on that for his patriotism. But I would like him to go beyond PF and UPND. I would like him to look at the multipartism which we fought for. We were very young, some of us, when the people like Scotta Winner in 1988 started calling for multipartism. We didn't even understand how the character of multipartism was. So I would like him to review the performance of a one-party participatory democracy and what's happening today in a multi-party system. As where is Zambia economically, educationally, everything, the welfare of Zambians, which was a better governance system, with all these things he's talking about, which happened in the PF, which has happened in the UPND. These things even started in the MMD, but now talking about collectively the multi-party system and the one-party participatory democracy, which was a better system. Thank you.
Thank you very much. For our callers, what we'll do is we will allow our dear brother Charles Longwe to answer all the questions, then we will release him to go, then we'll come and take your calls. So this will be the last caller in this race. We allow Honorable Charles Longwe to answer the questions, and then we'll invite you to come and speak so that we can later release him. Hello, caller, you are the last one in this series. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution.
Good evening, Ambassador. Niwa Munkonge.
Mkaiwa Munkonge.
Ambassador chakubalira ponde batotela balongwe. Bantofe bale chitabale pangama records akwe batilangu twalipokera obuteeko kutukwaba okwisaamu natusha ama elections zero twale akuma elections ama candidates abayimirine po bushiba echechi bayimirine munshira isumana ngo yali ayirigo nomba again kuli balirumbi kuli balongwe bafire bashita clarify bwino pamulandwa democracy yakona ikaba PF nangula balepusa muri fimu lero democracy tabayiketeko bantu nangune apapene baberere balongwe tureba pepera ko mulando akwe bati charo cyo tubererepo yonse ama institution bali yekata n'obumi bwabo kuba pepera ko fyatu abantu dictator na ipitirira ne finto fyo bali ekitafi akwe bati ulo muntu lerande ikintu ekituntulu okwe bati tebere ekyaro fyo fintu firenda kutumira bakoya mwikata bamubika mu maseyoza na pano turera ndaba sevya chungu niba president ba party yabo balera ndo kuishitishana nga party yabo bad opponent wabo nga akainde amono kwe bati ofe balera ndatu yalenga arusa my elections babeka tana bene fefe balera nda imbi kuri barungu kwaleba kwa ma challenges yakwe bati ligo to ligo balongwe nga bayashita Simon tabaye babakonke kungando kwe bati babekate bala mukupwishanisha kuma koti limbi upingushi tabwafume bwiro badini china bakwata apa kwendera so bafire babika po upsano ko tuberere tuli mu dictator ila time yaba PF yali ni democracy badinango if putura shumota share pingura bwino mirandu no kwensha bwino bibombere ya ma office bena fya pusana ko bale pera ko space ya democracy eriyo chimbyo chana chira fo kwipusha bushe ishine mirandu bakwete nabakwata ama lawyers abale batungirira kona ngona babatana yambya ama organizations ayale backing up okumono kwe bachinto chibare kitachiri bwino nango bali febeka ngefine na apwisha mkwaya.
Thank you very much. The calls are so many. Let's allow Honorable Charles Longwe to answer the question. When he's done and gives us a final remarks, then we are going to invite you for you to breathe and say something about this matter. Mr. Longwe, Over to you.
Thank you very much, Ambassador. Listening to the cross-section of the callers who I relate with, I hear Zambians speaking. You see, I interact with cross-section of Zambians every day, and when I speak, I'm passionate about politics. It's because of people like the ones I've just heard. They are looking for a better government. So I want to address, in a different way, I'll address the issues the callers have said, but I want to tell you something, fellow Zambians. 1991, 1990, there about our late president, may he so rest in peace, Dr. Kaunda, amended the one-party state arrangement and introduced multi-partyism. Now, that was done by law. That is Article 4 of the Constitution, which at that time provided only UNIP to be the only political party. It was amended, allowing for multi-partyism. Now, if you recall very well, the president at that time says, well, you are all free. You are now free to register your little parties or small parties, whatever I call them. Now, beyond that amendment, to actualize multi-partyism, we have not done very well. You see, Bachuluba, who was the immediate president after Wakaunda, was a tolerant person. You know, Bachuluba, you could even insult him and he would just laugh it off, you know. I remember those days when we were young. I think there was something happening in his own private life, and he would go on a rally and sing my oh Mushimbe, and he just laughs on a serious matter. So he was tolerant of criticism, and he had his own way. Then we had a very sensitive president, President Mwanawasa, come in. But one of the things your callers have been saying, Ambassador, is the shrinking, okay, as an aspect of a shrinking democratic space, is this issue are not free to express themselves. Now we see after the MMD loses power, PF comes in, and Wasata, then Walungu, then we are where we are now. If you observe, it depends on the person who is in State House. There are those who have thick skin, you know, you have people like Warupia Banda who won't even care what Michael Sata is saying. So we have not translated that 1990 declaration of multipartyism to practice. I've always argued, and I've said this many times, that we are still under a party state mentality. And those people in government, that is the leadership or the regime at a particular time, would demonstrate a certain aspect of this one-party state. We are changing leaders every 5 years, and this is what I'm calling you to reflect. You are still under the same regime. You are just kind of like deceiving yourselves. So fundamentally, I tell you, let's look at this thing, democracy. It doesn't happen every 5 years. It happens every year, every month in these political parties. Are they practicing it? Okay, are they tolerant in UPND of divergent views? You saw a clip by a former MP, Gary Nkombo, which the ambassador aired. That's a senior member of a political party, a chairperson of elections the last 5 years. You saw what happened to him in Mazabuk. That is in UPND, by UPND members. An intra-party issue, intolerance of divergent views. It is important that we understand the linkage between the party in office and the government. and the leader. And if the leader is intolerant, it spreads to the whole nation. So what's happening in the UPND, where they are closed up, they can't speak, that's what's happening to the whole country. It shouldn't be like that in a multi-party democracy. Now, to a point where people who want to be independent, you know, to be an independent, it means you are non-aligned to a political party. People have to follow you to a polling station and beat you. It's a shame. I'm ashamed as a UPND member, even as I speak that. That's the lowest we have ever reached. Because a person who declares to be independent is a protected right under the Constitution. Article 52 says, if a person wants to stand as a candidate, this is how they can stand if they are independent. And so a political party has no right to interfere in that person's expression or association at that time if they have decided to delink. But you see, we have operatives in the political parties who have no understanding of what they are doing. And I can speak clearly in the UPND. You see, the other day I was listening to Mosquito arguing with a veteran, Winter Kabimba had said. He said when he was in PF, he tried to stand as an independent. And Winter Kabimba was against that. And so he was justifying his action now that in the UPND we can do that and Winter shouldn't condemn that. My young friends, Mosquito, in 2011, the constitutional order was different. Read the statute. In 2016, there was an amendment which protected the rights of citizens to stand as independents. And so you can't behave the same way Winter Kabimba behaved. He was under a different constitutional order. And this is what I say, that the players in the political party, the administrators of political party, they should raise the bar so that the discourse and the temperature can be lowered down. Lowered. Listen, we are now talking about campaigns that people are not being allowed to campaign. Look, UPND was in existence before it came into office 23 years. I don't recall, and I stand to be corrected, Ambassador, you are a person in the media. I was a member of UPND. I don't, apart from the, these fracas and everything which goes on in the political party contestation, I don't remember in that period when UPND was ever stopped from participating in an election. They could have been hindered. But there was no systematic operation by the MMD. We survived that period. 10 years of PF, we survived that period. Why are political parties in this time, 5 years in office, we have stopped other political parties from participating? They are fellow citizens. And this is where I say that it's unfortunate, but the truth is you have to look at the political party, UPND, how does it practice its democracy internally? And since that's a party in power, and if you understand clearly what I'm talking about, a one-party state, it reflects in the nation. So if there's a failure of intra-party democracy in there, there will be failure at national level. That's my position. So if I'm looking for an antidote, I'm looking at curing the issue from the party side, and then on the national side to yield. So if Hakainde Hichilema has failed, I can tell you he has failed in this regard, and that's why I challenge his candidacy up to the highest court. And I don't pull any punches in doing this. I yield my best to say, listen, sir, this is not what we fought for with Anderson Kambela Mazoka. No, because we are allowed under the MMD to participate. We are allowed under PF under difficult circumstances, and we led the front against those cadres, and I was there. And I would have hoped that when now we are in power, we would guarantee the liberties of everyone, not to constrain them. But that is difficult for me to do. But that which I can do is challenge the intra-party process, and hopefully the court will hear us. Because if you ask me whether he's democratically running the UPND, I'll tell you, if I believed that, I wouldn't be in the Constitutional Court today. And I say this with all respect for my head of state. Maybe the only difference which I urge my fellow citizens, in whatever we do, let's do it without defaming one another. I'm here on this show. I love to be, you know, Ambassador, why I like to come to your show, you've invited me twice before, is I try to tell people, this is media. There was a war in, I think they're still there, between Iran and the US. You would find that on CBS, on CNN, the Iranian foreign minister is there speaking to the American people about what Donald Trump is doing. We should be able to separate these issues and say, Charles Longwe can speak to Ambassador Mwamba, who is PF, over Zambian issues and give a context from the UPND side. And they are not in an alliance. And vice versa. And then we should exchange ideas so that we can coexist. Listen to me. Until we perfect the issue of democracy, we are still a one-party state. We should find ways of coexisting. I was telling a colleague the other day that there is this position by the Americans now on the health aid and so forth. I said, as Zambians, both in the ruling party and the opposition, should I say as political parties, we should come up with a common position, which we should posture toward the Americans and say, as Zambians, in relation to our resources, Donald Trump, here is how we would do it. So that it doesn't matter in August which political party actually takes over office, we know our foreign policy position as regards our resources cuts across all political parties, and this is our common position. Can we sit down as Zambians and just discuss things in a common, should I say in our commonality? That's what we are not doing. So when people are so afraid of speaking, the only criticism I have is, please, when you are on the air like this, don't defame each other. Respect Ambassador Mwamba on the other side. Is my opponent politically. He knows this. But let me not abuse him. I expect him also to treat me like that. And then we coexist. But don't pick up that phone and call. Let's restrain from that. I'm not justifying those who are the operatives and doing whatever they are doing in the manner they are clamping down on this using the cyber law. But I'm just appealing to our fellow Zambians to say, don't fear cyber. Just do the right thing. You know, we're a Christian nation. He says, he who has done no wrong need no fear any punishment. So let's try to be civil towards each other and engage openly and don't kick about the bush. You know, I'll tell you one thing Hakainde Chilema taught me. We had a discourse somewhere, and then I was trying to go around an issue going this way. Kulande Fi, he told me, Charles, don't skate around this issue. Come straight. So you don't start insulting. Be clear. We have to redeem ourselves. When we have a tyrant in office, we have the votes in August. Tusungeni we not to. But in our conduct, let us reduce this overexcitement when we are on the phones and on social media insulting. That I'm against as an individual. I'm saying we can be open and honest with each other. Be strong about what you believe. There was an issue, I think it's somebody from Rome, or I think it's from the clergy, he raised, and he talks about the period when under the other administrations people were allowed to campaign, but those under this regime, they are not given free rein to to participate. I don't even understand that policy at all. I don't understand it. Because I come from the UPND in 20 years in opposition. We were allowed, or should I say the administrations at that time allowed the expression. So I find it strange that there's a high heavy-handedness towards dissent. Now, that I openly say, I don't understand why they fear. Citizens should be free to speak as I'm speaking, and I don't know why you need extra courage to speak. Or I say the truth, not innuendo. Just say the truth, stick to the issues.
Thank you. Thank you. Indeed, stick to the truth. Indeed, Charles, we stick to the truth. Let me bring you to say your last remarks so that we can allow you to leave. Then for you, the callers who are calling, I'll pick your calls. Charles will be listening, and if there is a particular question he wants to answer, I can call him or he'll call me and he can answer, but we allow him to go home safely, and our studio team also to travel safely. Let's take your last calls, Charles, then we'll open the phone lines. You listen to the phone lines. If there's anything you would like to answer, you just call me back.
Are you saying I should say the last thing, then I'll listen? Okay, I just wanted to say this in closing.
Yes.
Let us love our country and keep the unity of this country. And let's do our best to preserve its peace. Somebody else asked me whether what we are doing on our own, and whether we have lawyers. You know, the Constitution is a apex court in terms of these things, and you need competence and skill to operate at that level. I don't have that particular skill. So we have gone out there to seek the help of those who have skill. You know, it costs money which I don't have. So if you were to ask me, Ambassador, on your show, if there are those people who feel that they want to support our cause, we have bills to pay.
Correct.
We have bills to pay. You can get in touch with the ambassador. I give you this license, Ambassador, that those who are willing to help us to pay lawyers, reach out to us. We need to pay lawyers to articulate this issue before that bench accurately, clearly, and get the desired result.
Who are your lawyers? Sometimes people can just go
directly.
You'll
be seeing them starting tomorrow. Oh, listen. Oh, I'm inviting the media. Let me do this. Let me do this so that, you see, because we know when you're operating under a certain environment, you remember I told some people at one time that we are paratroopers. We know how to do this thing. So tomorrow at 9, Constitutional Court, we have a hearing. Soon after that, my team of lawyers and I will be speaking to the media. So those who hang around Constitutional Court area there, you'll be able to see the team. Some of them will appear, and that will be our song with those guys, that team, towards the end of and the goal of that is to entrench democracy in this country. I think we have the best brains in this country working on this to help me. Yeah, so far we've carried it as far as we can. This is now for heavy lifting. So they'll be there. Tomorrow I think I'm appearing with my good friend and brother Mambwe from Fedger & Company, and I think Benjamin Mwewa, they will be with me. So you hear us. So those of that you can support our cause, Bamwamba, we welcome such support.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And your last word?
My last words, like I said before, I love my country so much. And I did say something about love for my country, and Haka, I was contrasting it. I was not saying it's the same. That I contrast what I'm doing here is a full expression of my love for my country. And like that, we are building a better country, and I hope my elder brother understands that very clearly. And we are peaceful people, and we do not fear, but fear itself. For we are here at this time as the Lord has allotted us this portion. So may God bless you. As Zambians, we continue to love you, but this is the only way we can express our love, is to have a better tomorrow, a democratic process, which by the time we get to August,
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So before my dear brother goes, he has asked repeatedly for this beautiful song. And after a snippet of this song, callers, I'll pick your calls. Thank you.
Mundubile, 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 chor, mundubile, mundubile. So I'm your malushi, yon samarabish. So I'm your malushi, yon samarabish. So I'm your malushi, yon samarabish. So I'm your malushi. Tupele mada Zambia, kumwa umewafundwa. Tupele mada Zambia, kumwa umewafundwa. Muchalo chabulayo, tuleana mundubile.
Thank you very much. The lines are open. Let's hear from you. Caller, tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Yeah, good evening, Ambassador.
Good evening.
Inevo Mtale kuno kasama.
Mtale, make your contribution.
Yeah, very brief was this question. I know I'm late, but how I wish Mr. Longo to respond to this.
He's listening. Ask if we need to call him, we will call him on the phone. We just want him to be safe. So we've released him from the studio, but he's listening.
Thank you. To start with, there was a case, presidential case, which was in Constitutional Court, ACL. Not an eligible case, and we saw that case was in the Constitutional Court more than 3 times, if I'm not mistaken. But the last one, we saw the same court, Constitutional Court, ruled otherwise. Let's put that aside. Second, we saw the appointment of too many judges. More than in the space of maybe 1 year, we have seen 90 or close to 100 judges that have been appointed to High Court. Those who were appointed from the Junior Court to High Court are those, the 40 recent ones, are those who did a service or a show on behalf of Hakainde and his team. What show are we referring to? This is a show that they sent to people to prison without even following proper procedures. Others were wrongly judged, such as people like Munir and many others. And those people were promoted. Mr. Longwe, are you not trying? I appreciate your thought. To be honest, I appreciate your thought. But are you not part of the scheme? Is this not just a scheme trying to divert people's attention? Because knowing very well that even when it goes to the same court, that people today we have lost trust in this court, and you are taking this matter, knowing very well that this issue won't go anywhere. I find this process to be destructive, in my own opinion, so that people should be taken away from actual things that are happening. We start looking at this matter, whilst underground things are cooking. Because if indeed this man has been doing wrong things for a long time, from the time he became a president, I think you could have voiced out since then, from that time. But you have kept quiet all this time until today. What you are saying, I feel that you would have started a way back, building pressure on him. But this time around, even if calling people to support this movement, I feel that it may not work out. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The lines are open. The lines are open. Tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution.
Hello.
Hello. Good evening.
Hello. Good evening, Mr. Mwamba.
Yes.
My question is actually a follow-up to what a previous caller has just said, and in fact, it's actually picked asked my question. If Tuanda Paliva Valongwe, it kind of doesn't seem real to those of us. It might dupe other people, but it doesn't seem real to some of us who are now looking through the entire political system of ours, and we think that we've been here before. We'll go away after 13th and whatever, we'll come back to the same thing. Yeah? I'm sorry I have to put you in this, Mwamba. Mwamba, you're part of PF and everything and whatever, and we had all sorts of issues with PF and all that. This is not a story starting today. It's been around ever since KK and whatever. We seem to be moving a few steps and we come back to exactly the same point. In my opinion, with the way things are happening, my UPND, even but now done in an almost a vicious way. You're out there and whatever because of the same. But I'm also putting in it, I'm saying, are you renewed people? Are you a renewed person yourself, Mwamba? Is it really the real deal, or we're just hovering over the same thing? I'll leave it here. I'm sure
Thank you very much.
Do we need a change in the model? And the things that we're talking about are just the same things that will move a few steps and come back. Thank you. I'll leave it here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. No, I think in my view, in my estimation, Honorable Mr. Charles Longwe is genuine in his application. He has received threats. He has received attacks. Even now, we had to negotiate. I've been trying to bring him to the studio for the last 3, 4, 5 days. If it was as simple as that, he would have come the first time. What you are seeing is a lot of courage for even him to come to the studio live late in the day. The application he has brought has stated facts that the UPND have not. Read it. You will see. I don't think if he's part of a state project, they would like to embarrass President Hakainde Hichilema in the manner that petition has embarrassed him. I think, in my estimation, I think he has a genuine issue and is pursuing it. That the UPND has a party constitution, and this is how it holds a general conference. And it has not held a general conference according to its statutes. So how do you get a candidate like that and present him to ECZ as a candidate? He has even taken this matter to the Constitutional Court. The issue is whether the court will rule for him or against him, and how, like the first caller said, President Hakainde has appointed about 100 judges just in the last 5 years. Yes, the judiciary is part of the problem. We have a shrinking democracy where President Hakainde Hichilema has hijacked these institutions. But where do you want us to go? Do you want us to go to the bush? No. Even that same Finnish judiciary, we have to put it on record. When one day Zambians decide, people will have to be held accountable. But you have to leave it on the record. There is something that President Hichilema himself used to say. He says, I don't think I can win cases in court, but go and report, because one day we will come for these cases. And you saw what he did. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Thank you, Ambassador Mwamba. Daniel on the line.
Daniel, make a contribution.
Thank you, Ambassador. What I've seen Balongabach Tamwe Bantulelo, he has presented a case to us Zambians. And this case is, are we going to vote for such a person who is the leader of the current government? And if you have seen what Balongwe has said, this is a case now for us to decide to say, is this what we want or not? And from the way Balongwe and what he has presented, for me, I'm just going to differ with the two previous callers. Balongwe is not a person that can just come and discredit the party that is sponsoring him. What Balongwe has just done now is to present a case to us Zambians, more reason why we should turn up in large numbers and vote out this government. I submit to Mwamba. God bless you.
Thank you very much. The lines are so busy. Let's take as many calls as possible. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
Ambassador Mwamba, good evening.
Good evening.
Today this is a very interesting program, bringing our colleagues Charles Longwe on your platform. I'm very grateful to you, Ambassador. But Ambassador, I just want to take you back. If you recall, in UNIP only frozen the presidential candidate, and they allow inter-party democracy to flourish into these other positions. Now, I'm speaking to this. I want to come back to Isaac Mwamba, who has petitioned the independent candidate. So let me start from UNIP. The UNIP only frozen the presidential candidate, and the other position was subjected to inter-party democracy. But Ambassador, if you are a new UNIP member, you cannot participate in the form of elections until you present a membership card, the renewal, every renewal, and was a cutting mark for you to participate either from branch, section, constituents, and the district up to the MCC. Now, this also, it was done by MMD. When MMD came into government, if you recall, Ambassador Mwamba, there was annually renewal of membership of MMD. Every year you have to have renewal, even your membership cards. You have to even to have receipts and all the documents it is. Now, today, I want to go very quick to Isaac Mwamba. Isaac Mwamba, he has petitioned the so-called independent MP who are filing nomination want to stand in this election. Now, looking about the status of the political parties in these countries, none of the political parties have a renewal membership annually every year. So I want these things to be put to the Zambian, even to himself, on what level is Isaac Mwamba is going to prove that these were members of this political party. I'll give you a practical example. PF Tawakwatama membership card. They don't do renewals. None of even UPND they do renewals. None of all these political parties they do renewals. Now, if Isaac Mwamba goes to the either High Court or Constitutional Court, says that these people who have participated or who are filed in as the independent candidates, they didn't resign from their political parties. On what basis is he going to produce the document? Because Isaac Mwamba has to produce all the political party registers to prove that these were political party members. They did all the process of renewals, their membership. These are the registered, these are the receipts. So how is he going to prove to that? Because political parties in Zambia, there is no democracy. They don't do inter-party democracy. They don't do renewals. All the constitution for these political parties, they just go there to elect a president. The remaining position are being appointed by the president. Maybe they will say, okay, they will vote for a certain groupings of maybe member of the Central Committee or member of the Management Committee. But when you look about UNIP and MMD, each and every position was subjected to an election. Every member who was a member of Central Committee or National Executive got the mandate from the general membership of that institution. But today, even themselves, even the court or the Register Society, when they talk about these independent candidates who have stood in this election, the justification for Isaac Mwamba who says these were members of these political parties, because there are people who can even apply today, who have applied today and have been adopted. They didn't even maybe qualify.
Oh, our callers' numbers cut. But we have another caller. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Ambassador, again, David. You see, my question was maybe Mr. Longwe did not understand it. The reason, maybe I should give him the reason of my questioning. You know, economically, a multi-party system is not cheap. Kenneth Kaunda, once he signed on the 4th of December, 1990, he signed for Zambia to go into a multi-party system. But afterwards, in February of the following year, he was interviewed by the BBC about what he did. And he explained that it's not cheap. Multipartism isn't cheap. And Zambia's economical standing could not afford to go through a multi-party system. And today, even the previous caller is talking about internal democracy, which Mr. Longwe is talking about, even which Mr. Isaac Mwanza, all these are highlights of the costs. The reason why we don't have internal multi-partism system, why our multi-party parties, the parties which are participating in this multi-party system, why they do not have internal democracy is because of the costs. It's not cheap economically to run a multi-party system. That's why my question again goes back to Mr. Longwe. Which was a better governance system in Zambian's history, under a one-party participatory democracy or this multi-party system? Because which is giving a better benefit to the Zambian people, the ordinary Zambians? Which was a better governance system economically? Maybe that way you understand my question. I would like him to answer the question, which was a better governance system? Because the multi-party system, as much as Kaunda allowed it, he said it's a cost to the economy, and Zambia can't afford it. Can we afford it?
Thank you very much, my dear brother. Thank you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution.
Sorry, Ambassador Mwamba, I thought I discovered that I went offline, eh?
Okay, yes.
What I was trying to explain, we twice ifile Muzambia. Isaac Mwanza, I'll repeat again. Isaac Mwanza, he has taken the independent candidates to the court of law. The justification, because in this country, we don't have inter-party democracy, and two, no any political party apart from MMD, our renew every year. So Isaac Mwanza ngabaya ku High Court kulia. What evidence is he going to present to nullify this independent candidate that they didn't resign from their various political parties? Because there are no documentary, because this Isaac Mwanza has to prepare the files, show the invoices that these people have done all annual renewal being members of these political parties. And the two, it will be very important for that. So I thought this is a very critical issues which Mr. Charles Long has brought in this country. Political party, we had only two political institutions which were exercising democracy. It was UNIP and MMD. UNIP only frozen the position of the president, but going down there, democracy was being exercised. So these things are very important to bring it open to the Zambian people to know. The last one, I want to talk about the female or Ichiro cha Inkosi Amagos, Ngwenya Amampezeni 4. Filefi Achilemba ba secretary to the cabinet, whether it's true or what it is. Ichinta ambishi. Bashile keshile pitilila. Eshile ngabena Zambia shatureta pamo. Ababemba na abanyanja vale ken bapitilishe. Also, let's support our brothers from Southern Province and Western Province. Let's support the Kaondes, the Rundas, the Ruvale. Let's support each and every ethnic tribe in this country exercise their cousinship. Tuila wule fintrosena tuafimuna tuatwala ma politics. Tualabu fientambi. That's why Mweno Gwebati, Kwali Bentambishimbi shall even overlap into other tribes, because we love it as our Zambians. Amatebeto, Ichombelanganda, na Chilangamuliro. It's being exercised by many Zambians here, and that we need to embrace it. Tuatemwa, tufile tuatemwa mazambia, not your muntu, because it does not favor you, or you are looking with it with the political lenses. Wambo kulembama statements. Ero yu Patrick Angoyu. Ero aleta na confusion mchilo chaba Edgar Lungu na government. Ulo muntu mubi sana because alanda fechila ndelande. Kwa libe fintu fimu wa fileka. Tuwalikuwa mfumu, tuwalikuwa tama elders. Ifintu nga tafirenda wino. Awe nebala kutuwaikela panish. Wale watawe chichinu ngomule chitawe sheni ko steni fish. This culture bring us together. No, abantu wale subobungabe na abatemwa da embrace it. When we can office, we are writing a circular to condemn it. The Bembas and Eastern Province, this cousinship, it has been existed. Maybe I don't know, maybe 200 or 150 years ago. Nani kango Patrick Kangwa ai mafati no takulishi mbuya kumaliro ababemba wonseko muli all the corners of northern region imeni tusaturoshe mpezeni alifu muisuma ta ifinishe ta itemenwe ale staff associate no muntu uli wonse uli omuntu uli awumisi in this country ababemba betire nubunga bangoni abachewa bansenga batumbuka ninsambu chesu. Let's embrace our Zambian culture. It's our identity. Ambassador Mwanga, I thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, I'm Mukuka on the line from Chinsari.
Mr. Mukuka, make your contribution.
Okay. I just wanted to contribute a few words concerning the Mr. Longwe.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. I just wanted to urge him to say, I think, to me, every party, they have what we call disciplinary measures. When a member is out of order, we have a team that look into the matters. I think, to me, what is Mr. Longwe is doing is not a genuine UPND member. I've said so that in the party, in every organization, there are laws that regulate or that is run the organization. So the way he has come out, it's more like he is addressing the issues of the internal part of the party to the public, whereby I'll give an example, maybe in a home, you have issues in home, then you start coming out to say, we have this issue, my wife this, my husband this. This is what Mr. Longwe is doing. So if you think that in politics, the way politics are run is same as church, is wrong. What he has been explaining on this platform, it's more like he wants to purify or to make it clear that politics should be like run like churches. So this is politics. I'll give you an example. If the UPND goes for convention and the president will say, okay, let the president be out of the presidential race, who can be on the ballot for the UPND? The UPND doesn't have a presidential candidate who can match with the president. To me, this person is more like he is frustrated. He's frustrated in such a way that maybe expected something in favor, maybe he participated in last general election. Now, he hasn't been awarded anything. So it's more like he's bringing out his grievances by attacking the party and the president. There is nothing like no, the president is wrong. You know, Mr. Mwamba, you were at the PF, in the PF. That's the people of Webati, you also political party, if we have a clear what in the Bible, pull up my issues over facing, and the number issues over facing, I go at UPND innovation over to a change of president up. Tet Limbi, or Tungesavika, Tet have a popular, who's matching up opposition. Now, if you don't feel by side and go at whatever you said, a lot of weight, which is not good, and they need discipline. So to say, he needs discipline before he sell the part, because what he's doing is more like he's selling the part. He's against the part.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution.
Hello, Ambassador.
How are you? This is the Mwewa from Livingston.
Mwewa from Livingston, thank you very much. Make your contribution.
Yeah, thank you very much. First in the foku pusha kwa Mazambian. Bonsa bali mcharo chesu na mumwe bali kucharo fya sungu. What I can encourage them is that we must never lose hope. We are winning these elections. Come may come sunshine. So now, first thing in the Fokulanda kwa Mwamba, na chikonka sana balongwe. Yeah, but first thing in the Fokulanda kwa, it's in relation to Dr. Edgar Chagwarungu. Pa 5 June, nishi mwaka wa kwana kwa bulokushikwa wa Edgar Lungu. But wa Edgar Lungu, ngama vokonka sana interview kwa tiba mkebi zuru South Africa, where he says Edgar Lungu, the body to Dr. Edgar Chagwarungu will not touch dust until the truth is told. So now, the time Madama guys were in a case court having UPND South Africa, they thought that they are embarrassing or punishing the Lungu family and their supporters. Little did they know that those stories from the South African courts will be televised live. The whole world is seeing, and the story of Dr. Edgar Chagwarungu, for sure, it's being told. So sometimes you might do something today thinking that you are trying to punish your colleague. Then those things now starts backfiring on you. So I hope people are picking lessons from that. And then the other thing about Mwamba, remember I told you that I'm contesting as a member of parliament.
Oh, did you stand? Where?
Yes, I successfully filed in nominations.
Okay, which seat?
Yeah. Livingston Central.
Oh, Livingston Central. Who are your other opponents?
There is one from UPND and the other one an independent.
Okay. We wish you very well, Mr. Mwewa. Thank you very much.
Livingston, we are on the ground, mobilizing the party.
Okay, thank you.
And there's a lot of support from the Zambians.
Goodwill, wonderful. So you're a very brave man.
We are being encouraged so much. But actually, what it is, abama guys n'abakwata system abamumwene ama MPs abalechita withdraw. Okay, they are not withdrawing because they want to withdraw. No, they are being enticed. Okay, and a lot of money is being put on the table. So the question is, if they offer you that money, what is your interest? Is it to serve the people or just for you to have money? So those who don't know what they want to do into politics, they are opting for money, and I think that's how my intentions are assumed. Because me, I'm a victim. For example, I was approached and they offered quite a good lump sum of money, but my interest is not about money. My interest is too. We are okay. That one for me, I said it's not applicable. So it's an issue where now I'm a citizens. You know, Mwamba, I think Zambia should not quite a problem because I'm a citizens. It's like civic education. Because you discover that, for example, if in Livingston, number candidates, if you prefer to ballot as Livingston Central seat, but we need to have the energy to start painting our portraits to put everywhere. Wow, why can't the population take interest and see the people that are standing? If
if you have to wait for a portrait and a photo, meaning that you have got no interest in the selection of leaders in the country. So for me, I'm saying that Zambians, let them take interest to understand the Abantu Varesara, such that when they are making a decision, it must be from an informed point of view. Citizens must be able to organize town hall meetings so that they can interview these guys who are standing. But Ama citizens, as long as they what interest, the ruling party will take advantage. And what I've seen is that if people are following the process, someone cannot rig. But Zambians, the attitude to quit, especially in these year's elections, we are accepting to get money. No. If we go on like this, Mwamba, we are going to have problem. The other one is that Ama citizens, they must take ownership of this country. Ichi chalo tufule twachifunya kumuntu mo, tufule chabwerera ku bantu. Okay? And that responsibility, forever kwete, before Zambian. This time around, the power is centered towards one person. And I think those were even reviewed. The other thing about Mwamba is that
oh, the line is cut, Wamuwa. The line is cut. Let me take a call. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution.
Hello.
Hello, caller. Tell us your name and make your contribution.
Yes. This is Mr. Mwamba calling you from Lusaka.
Mr. Mwamba from Lusaka, make your contribution.
Yes, I want to thank you, Mr. Mwamba, Ambassador Mwamba. I want to thank Mr. Lungwe. If only we had people like Mr. Lungwe, who seems to make a follow-up, to make sure that institutions are very strong. Because when we have such environment, it is an enabling environment. People like Mr. Lungwe, people like State Council, Sangwap, and people like even Makebi Zulu, these people, they seem to be so serious with our constitution and our institutions in Zambia. But if we had people like Mr. Lungwe, I think it would be a better place. Zambia would be a better place. What I've realized is that there is one book. The book, they talk about nations are just like human beings. The signature, the political signature currently prevailing in Zambia should be attributed from Hakainde himself. That's his personality. You can see, you cannot, it's like people say that you can get a monkey from the forest, but you never get the forest from the monkey. That is his nature. And people, I think my fellow scholars maybe might agree with me to say that it is like he's suffering from inferiority complex from childhood. It's like it's an identity crisis in his life. He wants to be accepted, approved. He wants to show power. He wants to do, and he's not even a courageous man. He's coward. Look at when we analyze the presidents as we have right from Kenneth Kaunda, may he so rest in perfect peace, up to him. You can see the personality in leadership. When he came in, everyone was very happy. Even myself, though I never felt for him. But when after having heard his speech that he gave from the Ilo Stadium there, it gave me hope for my country that indeed maybe we are now back in the line. Though it also gave me a question mark when people booed the late President Iseo, rest in perfect peace. And the guy was not even bothered. He couldn't even maybe shut them up to say, no. He was just like that. Then I knew, but even that, I knew that this one he's been suffering from inferiority complex from childhood. And people like that, you find that when they were growing, or maybe especially, I'm not trying to castigate those who have grown up without parents, but most of those people in an environment where they are not shown love, when they grow up, they want to prove that indeed they can be accepted. Indeed, they are better.
Thank you, my brother.
Just like even today. Hello.
Thank you, my brother. Let's take.
Like even.
Yes.
Just like today, you look at this one. So when he was talking about today, he was talking about this youth. Is it youth chairman, national youth chairman for UPND? He was talking about Akahinde. He has made us to be like this because he understands that Akahinde. Once you praise him like that, he's got a soft spot for praises. And people like that are those with inferiority complex and all that. People who don't have inferiority complex, they want to be challenged. Just like the way Mr. Lungwe comes forth. He's very particular. The way he comes out, you can even know that this one, he knows what he's talking about. He's talking about institutions. He's talking about democracy. And he's just casting the net widely. He's not talking about one party. It's how the party, the democracy must prevail in all the party. In the intra-party, there must be democracy before even bring it forth for election. There must be democracy.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much, my brother. Sorry, I have to cut you. Let me just take some more because there are a lot of calls that are waiting. We need to close. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
What I was saying that before kuchita for appeal kuma Zambians, ama campaigns quite kono Livingston, they are going on very, very well. And I want to know about to pokelera, but the only thing Valera and Nakosa, no, the Guardia is Alisa, the Guardia is Alisa. So travel of your Kwata, not quite imparumeshesu. But Makebina Vamundo, the Guardia Valero Rekishap. And then the other thing also, if you Valeri, Barefua Sana, Barefua Konechmuela. If you must speak and Gofeka Montuga, if must speak affiliated. But otherwise, what is on the ground by Mwamba, I can assure the Zambians, kuno in southern province, and southern province in headquarters of UPND. But what I'm saying is that the support we are getting from our people per ground is very overwhelming, and I'm very sure that ba MP ba kumaramba na kaimuri ama constituency abiri kumaramba twalawina ba MP kuli Livingston Central twalawina ba MP the mayor twalawina because we managed to field the bonse abatatu, and then we also managed to field the 18 councillors. We've got 20 wards, but twali kwanisha kusanga ma candidates in 18 wards. And then the other thing is that ndero mbako fya imtungurushishe, so especially Mupamoza and Tonse Alliance. I think we to the commune mapano Vamwamba these elections we didn't prepare. We didn't prepare at all. They amana that ama councillors 12 nominations. There was communication that in the Ramashalization nominations baba paid abantu. That was 8:15. We had to go up to 10 hours. Indara mata chilemonika no watu minate alete aleka no kwa skama phone antu twasa ipatikisha paka twaingira muri karoba twako ngororo pia antu twashita few dema candidates kama candidates where if into no stana fishu paso paka watu muntu akwate 1.7 for the councillors. It was not easy. So it's like it is one of the designs that was made by UPN to say kandaramanga twakavika paso nishabe ngebaka filo kwanisha no kutafawe. But otherwise what I'm saying is that we need to make sure that whatever we are doing now and going forward is fully supported by by Amazambians. Mwamba.
Thank you very much. Let's take the more calls and then we close. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Mwamba, I'm Chris from Zambia. Good evening.
Chris, make your contribution.
The issue about Longwe, yes, though it might be important, but it won't go very far. Pantomama court say Zambia they leave Makibizad. So let us talk much about our Tutu, Copa Beauty, Naku Lusaka, Oliva NRP, Nava Tonsema Pamos. Let us concentrate much on this so this is resolved. Already by Mamashka Monica was seen campaigning Mokopa Beauty, not Pachola. She was campaigning for NRP, MP, council, and that. That must be resolved and not be allowed. Okay, sir. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
I'll be very briefly. The name of Talia, you accorded me opportunity earlier on. I forgot my one point or two. Remember, the issue of Longwe, it may not go anywhere. That's the truth of the matter. We have seen it. It's just political game trying to drift people from the main issues, like I mentioned earlier on. But I would love to speak, concurring with the other caller from Livingston, who mentioned that the citizens, they should take interest of knowing their leaders. Indeed, is right. But I want also to emphasize that if you remember, Mwamba, a service, being a politician, he was a service to the community. I'll take you back to Kaunda's time, in time of UNIP. We remember that in our location where we were staying, you would see a yard with a flag just not Panganda Pava Chairman. And the issues were resolved at that level before it even goes to the police. That's how a politician was being respected. But over the years, we saw some businessmen jumping from their business to politics. And this is the reason why you're able to see people without shame today. They can change a goalpost at any given time. I was seeing the post of Peter Chanda not long ago, who was saying that he was actually shooting HH left, right, and center. And today, he's saying that he's supporting UPND. So because of that, you have us as a general public who are saying, okay, these guys are not loyal. So when times like this, it's a time for to and if you recall, there was a time when people were to see a member of parliament who was as easy as that. But today, to see a member of parliament is only this time around of the year. So you as politicians, you have got a job to do. You have to clean yourselves so that the public can gain trust. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from. Okay, I think I should be winding up now. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
Good evening, Ambassador. Call me James. Yeah,
James,
so,
make your contribution.
My comment is very simple. I just want to warn our candidates not to tolerate these people who are frustrating them and telling them to resign from, step aside from this election. You know, this thing, when you say you want to be involved in politics, it's not for personal gain, but to serve the people in your constituency, in your ward, in your country. So when you see people desperately trying to woo you with money, to show you money, to say if you resign from contesting this election, will give you so much money. Money can take you not very far. But the things and the influence that you are going to gather to have when you become a leader, be it councillor, MP, even president is something that will take you a long way. So let them not sell their birthrights for pieces of silver, because an election is something that some of the people, from being a councillor, they'll be able to go places than, walila limo, you sell your birthright. I'm encouraging everyone, our people, countrywide, wherever they are, not to tolerate these people. And for the people who are saying, no, resign, leave space for that one, what is so special about that one they want to remain there? What kind of reasoning is that? And sometimes I get worried with some kind of reasoning from our brothers who want to see as if they are the alpha and the omega in elections and in the things that are happening in the country. That is a very, very big mistake. So I'm urging all our candidates countrywide to be very strong. Be strong and know what you are doing. I end there, Ambassador.
Thank you very much. And I think that was our last caller. We have a special broadcast on Friday, on the day that will mark 1 year of Zambia's sixth president's death. We will have a special program in honor of the late president on 5th June. You can make your phone calls to come and remember the late president. That will be our special broadcast on, I think, on Friday. So thank you all for joining us. And we were hosting Charles Longwe, who has petitioned the courts that they should nullify the election, the nomination process of President Hakainde Hichilema, because he's not qualified to stand, because he has not held a general conference and the UPND have not had regular elections in the party. So God bless you. We'll see you tomorrow.
Pasatini kuvota palampi Mundu bile makaidi Imfi twakana Pasatini kuvota palampi Mundu bile makaidi Imfi twakana Sanika Pasatini kuvota palampi Mundu bile makaibi Imfi twakana I'm your Malushi. Yon Samarabish. So I'm your Malushi. Yon Samarabish. So I'm your Malushi. Yon Samarabish. So I'm your Malushi. Yon Samarabish. Tupele mada Zambia. Kumwa umewafundwa. Tupele mada Zambia. Kumwa umewafundwa. Muchalo chabulayo. Tuleana mundubile. Twaikala mafara o. Twaikala mafara o. Freedom of speech in Sambu na Shia. Walanda ko ba kwikatama, yeah.